What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Face Mask Podcast. You got your co-hosts, Nick Payne, John Alsace. What's happening, John?
What is going on, Nick? I just need to throw in there, before we get started, you already know, we bring in new fantasy content every day on this channel. So if you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. That would help us out very much. But without further ado, let us get into the subject of today.
The prince. What are we calling him? Like the chosen one in waiting, or what? He's the prodigy. What are we calling him? What are we calling Trevor Lawrence?
He's the prototype, bro. He's, you know what I'm saying? He's that.
Right. The prodigal son, prodigal son. There you go.
I don't know about that. He didn't leave and come back. This is his first. Whatever.
I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. All I know is, as we continue to profile some rookie quarterbacks, all I know is I don't have that much to say as far as, you know, his makeup and what Trevor Lawrence is coming into the draft. You're talking about the first generational prospect at this position since Andrew Luck. Has basically been crowned as such since high school. That has carried with him all the way through his collegiate career at Clemson. Constantly took that team to the college football playoff, monster games, consistently, you know, one of the top 2 seeds in the country. Ran into some. So he's got the whole package as far as pre-draft pedigree.
Yeah, I mean, he's the number 6th all-time recruit, and he lived up to the hype of being the number 6th all-time ever recruit. He won a national championship in his freshman season, and in his whole career as a starter, going back to Pee Wee when he's a child, he's only lost twice.
Yep, guy's a winner.
He's thought of as a field general. He can throw it all over the place, but he did average 26 rushing yards per game in college, so he's not a statue.
Nope, he can run a little bit.
He averaged 9.4 yards per attempt with a 24-5 TD to interception ratio across 10 games as a junior. I mean, this guy, literally, man, if you built a quarterback prospect in a lab,
this is the guy.
And he's walking into what should be a pretty fantasy-friendly offense.
Yeah, he's got some pieces to work with. So first of all, Lawrence himself, his ADP is around 124, 125. So he can be had 11th, 12th round.
10th round.
Awesome 10th round. Yeah, well, yeah, I guess if you're in a 12-team league. Awesome QB2 option in Superflex and Best Ball leagues. And obviously, in Dynasty, Superflex, he was the number 1 overall pick. Even in 1 quarterback leagues, he probably should be a first-round pick. That's just a talent that's too good to pass up, even if you don't have a need at quarterback. And to the point about his weapons, I think this offense could be sneaky good. Maybe not spectacular. Obviously, you got a rookie quarterback who should be a senior in college, but there's some pieces on this team. DJ Shark, who has flashed, had a disappointing year last year. Has some motivation for himself this year after the coach kind of called him out on that bad year. But he has flashed in the past.
You got LaVisca Chenault, who's drawn a ton of rave reviews coming out of camp. Apparently, he was the guy that was lighting it up the most, right? And you got Marvin Jones, free agent acquisition, who always seems to outproduce wherever he is. I mean, if you name another guy with more 4 touchdown games than Marvin Jones, you can't do it. You can't do it. You got James Robinson there, the rookie running back 7 last year. And I know they drafted ETN, but I'm under the impression that James Robinson should still finish at least top 20. When you take into account, the Sports Illustrated Connor Orr just came out and said that the Jaguars could center their offense around the run game in 2021. And offensive coordinator Darrell Bevell committed to establish the run in Seattle.
So I did in Seattle.
You're right. That's going to be his game plan in Jacksonville as well. So he has a ton of weapons, bro.
Yeah. And Travis Etienne could see a lot.
Not to mention Tebow.
Well, I'm not even getting into that. Etienne is interesting as a receiving threat.
Yeah.
Which could cannibalize Chenault a little bit. But that's a separate conversation. I think your point about Robinson, he's obviously first and second down back. Well, obviously, Etienne will mix in, but I do think Robinson will be the goal line back. He's absolutely going to maintain value, and Trevor Lawrence makes this offense much better than they were last year when Robinson was, to your point, the RB7. So just because ETN is there, I think Robinson's prospects are just fine as far as having a real legitimate role in this offense. As for ETN, I think he lines up a lot at receiver. I think he might have some third down duties. He'll obviously be mixed in on all downs. But I think he's the one, and they were college teammates, Trevor Lawrence and Travis Etienne, so they've already got a little bit of a rapport. So you could see Etienne utilized a lot in the passing game. So there's some decent amount of talent on this offense. It's set up well. And to the point about Shenault, who I think is the most interesting player for this offense outside of Trevor Lawrence, just because he's going and ahead of ETN, just because he's going into his second year, they're going to put more on his plate. He was a type of dude who they utilized a lot around the line of scrimmage. He's a guy who's awesome in short yardage or I should say red zone situations. You can utilize him around the around the goal line.
Coaching staff did come out and say that they want to use him more as a traditional wide receiver out wide. Urban Meyer did come out and say that, and that was one of the reasons why they drafted ETN. That was one of the reasons why they wanted Kadarius Toney so badly, was because they wanted to shift Shenault outside and use another offensive weapon in that gadget role. So and by all accounts, Shenault has lit up camp in that role. So I believe he's gonna just continue that right into the regular season. I don't think we should be pigeonholing Laviska Shenault into this gadget player that everybody seems to think he is. I think he can be a lot more.
No, I think he can be a true bona fide receiver. The point I'm making is he fits the role of like a Swiss Army knife so well. You're not gonna ask an awesome player to completely change what he's good at. I expect big things from Laviska Shenault in general. And I think, like I said, more is going to be put on his plate in year 2. But I think he's such a dynamic weapon. I think Trevor Lawrence really benefits from having a guy like that in the offense. That's absolutely going to help, his floor in general. And then, of course, Lawrence will run. He may not be a goal line situation. That might be where the handoff comes to James Robinson, especially maybe early if they're trying to protect him a little bit. But Lawrence is a high-end prospect with ascending talent around him. To me, it's pretty simple. He's not it's pretty simple. Because not only is the talent ascending, but the defense is still very much a work in progress. And what do we always say about young quarterbacks on bad teams? Fire them up. At the end of the day, we're talking about a guy that everybody already knows about. We're not presenting a ton of new information. The point here, I just want to make clear is he is a rock solid quarterback 2 option in all super flex formats and in best ball. Might not be incredibly flashy. Might fit, it's not, he doesn't exactly jump out at you, or maybe that's just me. I don't, maybe I can't explain it, but he's gonna run. He's the clear, obvious starter. He's gonna play 17 games, and he's got some interesting pieces to work with. It'll be up and down, but if you're not asking for too much out of a QB2, you could do a lot worse than Trevor Lawrence. He should put up rock solid, steady production, consistent production throughout the year. Maybe not too many peaks or valleys, but just kind of it's leveled out with an excellent long-term outlook for the future.
What do you guys think? Put your thoughts in the comments section below. Thank you for listening. This is the Face Mask Podcast, once again bringing you fantasy content every goddamn day. My name is John Alsace.
I'm Nick Payne. Thanks for listening, y'all.